not going to be the most comfortable thing in the world. One. Secondly, it's going to require you to pay attention and to understand what the Word is telling you. Okay? And thirdly, it's going to require you to endure difficulty. Okay? And I chose this grouping of lessons tonight because when we come together next week for that we call it Passover observance, okay? You know, it's not all about Egypt. Okay? Egypt has come and gone. They made their way out of Egypt. Okay? And he says, remember this and continue to do this. Okay? Well, Yahushua also paved the way for us to escape a different type of Egypt. But Yahushua opened the door to escape that second set of tablets. And some of you will know what I'm talking about, some of you may not. The priesthood of Levi comes to an end. The priesthood of Melchizedek picks up. And it's within the priesthood of Melchizedek that we must start to understand and come to grips. That allows us to enter into a much deeper and a much broader relationship with our Elohim. The Levitical priesthood existed because they rebelled against Yahuwah Elohim. They built a golden calf. Moses smashes the first tablets. What was on those first tablets? Does anybody recall from the book of Exodus what was on those first tablets? The main theme throughout the book of Exodus, not necessarily the plagues of Egypt and leaving Egypt. The instructions on how to build the tabernacle are in the book of Exodus. Shemot tells us how to create the tabernacle, how to create ourselves in such a way that we can receive the Spirit of Elohim fully. And yes, they had the tablets, they had the instructions to build it, because they built it. But when he smashes those tablets, and he writes those second tablets, what is the book that comes immediately after Shemot? Vayikra. Okay? So, we're going back to an opportunity to recreate the tabernacle, to recreate ourselves, to recreate the tabernacle that Yahuwah has given us in order to minister effectively to the people of the land. The temple in Ezekiel, who builds that? Yahuwah Elohim builds that. If I'm going to be the temple that Yahuwah Elohim builds, then I have to be able to pay attention to what Yahushua is telling them before he's going to be carted away and put to death. Before he's carted away and put to death, and one era ends and another era begins. How long did Yahushua appear to the Talmudim after he arose? 40 days. Okay? 40 is the number for transition. There's a change that goes from one state of being to another state of being. Okay? He died as the last Levitical priest. He also died as the last legitimate king of Israel. And he rose, as Paul tells us, as the new Kohen Hagadol in the order of Melchizedek. The transition takes place not only from the fact that there will be no more physical kings in Israel, that Yahuwah is now going to be the king, but also that the Levitical priesthood has ended, and now the priesthood of Melchizedek begins. And this culminates 10 days after he leaves on Shavuot, on Pentecost. What happens on Pentecost? The Spirit of Yahuwah Elohim returns to humankind to do what? What does the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, what does that do for us? Teaches us, guides us, leads us, instructs us, tells us, hey, that's not a good idea. or tells us, hey, that's a great idea. Jump into that with both feet. And if you could borrow somebody else's feet, jump into that with their feet too. We are now led directly by our King, who is Seh HaElohim. And Yahusha is now our high priest in the order of Melchizedek, who administers to us and allows us to become what we were supposed to be in Shemot. We were supposed to be a nation of Cohens, a nation of ministers and teachers to the world. We're supposed to be the treasure of Elohim. We're supposed to be set apart for a specific purpose. Yahusha knows this in those last few verses of Matthew. He says, all right, I'm done here. I'm going to take off. Now, you guys, I'm going to give you a charge. I have all authority in heaven and earth are in the Word. Now, you take that Word and you go out and teach people. And immerse them, teach them in depth about the knowledge of the Father, the restoration that comes from the Father, and the relationship they can have through the with the Father through His Spirit. Okay? That great commission that Yahuwah gave the children of Israel, that they blew with the golden calf, now becomes our commission that Yahusha has restored. So, it's a very important little lesson that he gives his Talmudim before that dinner. And something that we really, really, really need to think about before we come together and have that matzah and that wine and say I do to the relationship. And I'll stop bumping my gums because you guys are saying, does this guy ever quit? And grooviness has been achieved. Any questions? Whatever you get from